Hello, this is Tom from Nimba Creations. Today we're going to be applying our patchwork skin prosthetic. This gelatin appliance comes in two parts, a left half and a right half. I'll be using the Perfect Palette, our new cream makeup selection to paint the appliances with, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the results as much as I did. I apply prosthetic adhesive to the performer's eyebrows so that they lie flat under the appliance. A generous amount of adhesive on the inside of the appliance and on the performer's face ensures a strong bond. Offer up the appliance and carefully align it. Once you're happy with the alignment, press it firmly into place. Tweezers are used to lift any awkward edges so that adhesive can be applied underneath. Powder any edges that are thoroughly stuck down to avoid them sticking to themselves. I use the same processes to apply the appliance on the right-hand side of the face. Carefully align the appliance under the edge of the right eye. Also make sure that the nose is correctly lined up and press this firmly into place. There's a lot of tension here. You may have to give it a couple of goes to get the nose to stick down correctly. Make sure every square millimeter is covered with adhesive on both the face and the appliance to ensure a strong bond around the nose. If you get any truly awkward edges or areas that need reshaping, boiling water in a heat-proof cup can be used to heat a metal tool, which can then be dried and used to reshape the gelatin or smooth edges. Mastering this technique will take some practice, but the results are worth it. This is one of the pleasures of working with gelatin. Work a small section of gelatin at a time and make sure that the sculpting tool is kept hot and clean at all times. Finally, a bit of gelatin blender will take care of those feather fine edges. Sealer is used to make sure that you have an even consistent surface on which to apply makeup on both the skin and the prosthetic. Use a brush to apply sealer into the details and around the eyes, but do be careful, the fumes from the sealer can irritate the eyes. Make sure the actor keeps them closed. Now to begin the coloring. The Perfect Palette has all the cream makeup colors that you'll need, and it works beautifully on both the skin and the gelatin prosthetic. I use a sponge to apply the majority of the skin tone. I then use a brush to apply colors like a rose around the eyes to weaken them, and also in some of the wounds and around the scar tissue. You can use stronger contrast and darker tones between the gaps of skin on the left-hand side of the makeup. On the right-hand side, it's supposed to be a bit more healed, so keep things a bit more subtle in terms of the scars and the skin tones. I used a more pale and sallow skin tone for the sections of skin on both the left and the right hand side that are more heavily textured and are meant to be older skin. Mottling and blotches are added to make sure that the skin around the wounds looks sore and infected. I used isopropyl alcohol to thin some makeup down so that I could spatter it onto the face with a brush. This can add a great deal of realism to flesh tones. I also used this to spatter in a yellowy color around some of the fresher wounds. Purples, yellows, greens, grays are all added in small amounts to add to the natural tone of the skin. I use a small amount of fake blood in some of the fresher wounds to give it that really nasty look. Don't use too much. As a final detail, I pre-tied some sutures using a heavy thread. These were then superglued into the suture marks on the appliance. Once the glue is fully dry, the ends of the sutures are trimmed. The white thread looked a bit too bright, so I used some thinned down makeup to tone it. Please check out our other videos on YouTube and join us at facebook.com/NimbaCreations for more hints, tips, and news about buy and apply prosthetics.